Hello, I'm David Yates of Breathwood, and I've been getting a lot of questions about circular breathing. So I want to look at it some more. There are a couple of ways that we can time our filling, squeezing, and breathing. Okay, so the first thing you have to be able to do is create a drone easily. It's got to be an easy thing for you at this point. You've got to be able to put your mouth to the didge, and the drone has to be the first sound you make. If it's any other sound, circular breathing will be a lot harder. So, if you're not there yet, go back and practice the drone some more. Take a small breath in, small breath in, and create a clear, crisp drone. So that's step number one. That has to be there. The next step, while you're playing, let your cheeks puff out and then pull them back in. This is just while playing the drone. You're not trying to circular breathe yet. This is kind of like push-ups for your cheeks. You need to be able to relax them, separate from your lips, and then pull them back in without changing the drone. If you can't do this, that's step number 2. You need to go and practice. I'm not worrying about circular breathing yet. I'm just strengthening my cheeks. This might take 5 minutes. It might take an hour. It might take you 1 week. Keep practicing. Then you might want to work on your jaw a little bit. Same idea. Open, close, open, close. Can you move your jaw without stopping the sound? And can you move your cheeks without stopping the sound? So those are really important. The next piece is when we breathe. And we can think of it in 2 main ways, or at least I think of it in 2 main ways. One, you fill, and then you squeeze and breathe. As I've mentioned in other videos, the back of the throat has to close when you squeeze so that you can breathe in while pushing air forward. If the back of the throat stays open, then this will probably happen. You'll suck the air backwards from your cheeks instead of pushing it forward into the didge. So the throat has to close, and the feeling for that is You can practice just this, just to feel it. You should feel it close back here. It's the sound like U-N-G or I-N-G. So fill, squeeze. But over time, I realized, and from seeing other videos, learned that as soon as I fill, I can then breathe in because there's enough pressure to close my throat and get a sniff of air while that pressure keeps the air moving through the didge. It's not necessary to separate fill, squeeze, breathe. You can do fill, squeeze, breathe, or just fill, breathe. So the idea here is to let your cheeks fill, and as soon as you do that, as soon as you let your cheeks go, take a breath in. So it'll look like fill, breathe. So fill, breathe, fill, breathe. Trust that there's enough pressure in the moment that you're filling so that you can then breathe in. And remember, your throat has to close. You have to be able to move your cheeks separate from your lips, and you have to have a clear drone. Then, when we play a rhythm like E, breath, O, breath, it's easier to breathe because we're filling and squeezing in the same moment, or very close, rather than going fill, squeeze. If we do fill, squeeze after E, it'll probably look more like this. 3 sounds. If you want 2 sounds, you need to go fill, breathe, E, fill, breathe, E, fill, breathe. This can be hard because the E sound really closes the cheeks and the mouth. It makes it more narrow. E, E. And you might tend to tighten here from habit. E. You need to relax that E and do it without affecting this. E. Just inside. E. E. So it's like E, relax, fill, squeeze right away, or breathe right away. It's easier with O. O is kind of like being halfway there already. Your mouth is already making the shape you need to move toward when you expand your cheeks. The actual squeeze is very small, especially if you have a good amount of pressure. Practice feeling the pressure in your mouth and moving your cheeks just a little bit before you even can circular breathe. That will help you a lot. So again, clear drone. That's super important. Isolated, separate cheek movement or jaw movement. When I first learned, I combined cheek movement and jaw movement to circular breathe. Then fill, squeeze, that's one option, or fill, breathe. Fill, breathe, that's another option. They're both good and they're both useful, but depending on where you're at, one or the other might feel easier. So try that and let me know if you still have questions, and I'll keep trying to answer. So good luck, have fun, and happy playing.